Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So yesterday we actually got all of the master set icons released for the Hut Style Icons 2.0 event. Now the cards aren't in packs, the 4 new master icons, but now that we know all 8 of the cards and everyone coming up on the ability to actually get their free player, I thought I would put together my rankings for all 8 of the master set players. Now again guys, these are all very similar in overalls, but I'm going to give you guys my feedback and just thoughts determining based on the position they play, some of the other options available at the position, and whether if you're a pro style player or someone who's in the lower divisions, that will kind of change the player that you should probably go after. All right, guys, if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and come check me out live on Twitch. We watch the content every day, 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern time, twitch.tv/nosleeves12. The link is down below. All right, guys, let's get into the video. All right, coming in at number 8 is the 94 Paul BISSONNETTE. I'm not going to lie, I love Paul BISSONNETTE. I think he's hella entertaining, and he's actually from my hometown, well, just outside from Welland, Ontario. Always been a fan of his, and the only issue here is that his card just doesn't really stack up in comparison to some of the other ones that you have available to you. Just go over it now. 6'2", 216, that's great size. Does have truculence, which is a really good ability. In my opinion, I think it's a little bit better for defensemen, but the other ones that he has just aren't very good in comparison. Born Leader is good only if you have him on your first line, in my opinion. Now, the issue here with Paul is, A, he can only get up to 93 speed, 93 acceleration. Now, when I say only, the reason I'm saying only is because some of the other options that are in this event that are close to the end game, and to define end game, that would be a card that you could have after Team of the Season that could still potentially be on your team, even if you had a God Squad. And unfortunately, 93 speed on this guy with only 87 deking, and that's with synergies activated, just really isn't going to be it. So Paul comes in at the number 8 spot. Number 7 is going to go to the 94 Carey Price. Now, I need to be clear here. This Carey Price card is incredible. It's going to be one of the best goaltenders for the rest of the year. The issue is that you might already have his X Factor. If you have his X Factor, do not go out and get the Style Icon version. Just slowly upgrade whenever you don't have any upgrades. That's what I'm doing with my Carey Price. The other issue is that if you're getting a free impact player, it should not be a goaltender. Now, if you have a God Squad, you've seen my team in my prior video, there is a potential chance in that case you might want to take him, but I have Carey Price's X Factor, and I see no reason to go out and get this one because it's capped at 94, whereas the X Factor Carey Price, if he gets, some other ability and whatnot, he already has gold post to post. He's going to have 99 abilities across the board. It's going to cost you a lot with upgrades and whatnot, but nonetheless, it's just really not worth it when you compare some of the other cards that you could get. So Carey Price comes in at number 7. Number 6 is from my Sharks, the 94 ERIK KARLSSON. I need to be clear, this is an amazing card. The only issue here is that there's so many other right-handed defensemen that are big and extremely good. So, I mean, you've got Shea Weber's team builder, you've got Dougie Hamilton coming up, you've got John Carlson. There is a lot of options that will be better than this card if they aren't already. That is slowly coming up. You also have to take into the account if you've made the Adam Fox. If you made Adam Fox, this makes ERIK KARLSSON a no-go because you don't want to have two players that are under 6 foot or around 6 foot on defense on the same side if you can go out and get someone a little bit bigger. And like I said, as the game goes along, the speed of the big guys goes up and the advantage of having these smaller, faster guys goes a little bit down. Now, 6 foot is not extremely small, but what I have learned in NHL 22 is that the body checking stat on smaller defensemen does not seem to help out the fact that they're a little bit smaller. Adam Fox is just not able to bump some of the bigger players off the puck at all. It's not like last year. That being said, if you did not make Adam Fox, this is a possibility if your right side is weak. He's got some good synergies as well. I like tape to tape. The other issue is that he's got winger and forward abilities. You do not want to put gold wheels on a defenseman because you shouldn't be carrying the puck out with your defenseman. And if you are, that's fine, but it's not going to be nearly as impactful as a forward. Tape to tape is good, and elite edges, again, you want to have that on your winger. You don't want to be dancing around at the point very often with ERIK KARLSSON. So he comes in at number 6 among the master icons. Coming in at number 5 is the 94 Ryan Whitney. This is a great left-handed defenseman card, no doubt. He's got workhorse, fly the zone, as well as buzzing. So a great speed combo here. A couple of the reasons why I've got him at number 5. One, fly the zone is not really a common speed synergy. I'd much rather have distributor activated. But that being said, if you get fly the zone activated on him with buzzing as well as workhorse, it's just very difficult to get buzzing, fly the zone, and distributor activated. So You would kind of have to make your team around Whitney unless you have, a top-end team and you can make it work. The other thing is that his superstar abilities, again, elite edges, I mentioned, not really one you want to activate on defensemen. Send it is okay, but you want to fire the puck out of the zone. If you watch my advanced tip video, you want to be shooting the puck out of the zone with a defenseman, not passing, so that eliminates that one. And then gold tape to tape is a little expensive for a defenseman. It's 93 speed, 92 acceleration is great. His shot is awesome. Defensive stats are great. It just, like I said, when you combined all of the other issues, like with the synergies, instead of having distribute, he's got fly the zone and then activating buzzing on top of it. And then spark is honestly better than workhorse. So again, you're going to have, like on my team, it would be difficult for me to activate this. It just makes it a little bit more difficult. Not to say, though, he is a great card and one of the better left-handed defensemen currently in the game. Coming in at number 4 is the 94 JAKOB CHYCHRUN with Wingman, Spark, and Distributor. So the synergy is a little bit more popular here with him. The reason why I have him above Whitney is the shutdown, tape-to-tape, and truculence. Again, you don't need to activate tape-to-tape on him, but shutdown and truculence on a defenseman, we've seen it with Ulf Samuelsson, just such a great combo. 92 speed is fine. 94 acceleration is okay. He's got good size at 92, or 6'2", sorry, and then defensive stats are all maxed. In all honesty, I think that if you have Victor Hedman, you probably don't need to go out and get CHYCHRUN or Whitney. But if you don't have, if your left side is a little bit lacking, and if you don't have, Hedman, team of the year Hedman or Gonchar, you might be lacking there because your best player might be Bowen Byram, and I think it is almost time to move on from him. CHYCHRUN, though, however, is a phenomenal build, but again, it all depends on your team makeup, but I just like his abilities and synergy combo a little bit more than Whitney. Coming in at number 3 is the 94 Brent Burns. Now, I need to make sure I make this clear. This is for the pro-style player, the Division 3 and above, GWC teams, those kinds of things, because you have to be able to use slower defensemen, and it is going to be difficult because he's got 89 speed, meaning that you're going to have to be a lot more careful. You can't mess around at the point with it. However, I will say this, 6'5" is very difficult to knock off the puck, and we've seen with Victor Hedman what gold shutdown can do on someone who is massive. It is almost impossible to get into the zone against Victor Hedman right now, and they've given Brent Burns at 6'5" gold shutdown. That is why I think he is one of the best cards right now. He is probably going to be replaced pretty quickly. Again, if Dougie Hamilton gets a few more upgrades. Like Dougie Hamilton right now, I'd probably rather have the X Factor at 90. A little bit difficult to go out and get, but I like Brent Burns' shot a little bit more. And also, if you've watched my podcast co-host Kesso's video on D2D one-timers, the Seeing Eye and 1T combo on the silver abilities, the superstar abilities, appears to be the only way to go out and actually regularly get D2D one-timers to go in. So if you have a first pairing of Victor Hedman and Brent Burns with 1T, Seeing Eye, and Gold Shutdown, it's going to be almost impossible to enter the zone unless you give it up at the point. But if you do want to take some point shots, these are going to be absolutely devastating to go out and get. I'm not going to lie, I haven't been a fan of Brent Burns cards for a long time. And honestly, if you're Division 3 and below, I would probably not invest in Brent Burns. And if you have a stacked right-handed defensive side, like let's say you have Shea Weber, you have Adam Fox, and you have Dougie Hamilton, what I have right now, I probably would not recommend go out and get Brent Burns. But if you don't have Shea Weber, and maybe you don't have Adam Fox, so let's say you have Cale Makar, someone a little bit smaller, maybe you got KARLSSON too, Brent Burns would be a nice one to go out and get because he is going to be one of the bigger guys there that you could use. Like I said, he's probably going to get replaced because of his speed, but that gold shutdown just gives him such an advantage when defending the blue line that we haven't really seen from Brent Burns cards in the past. Coming in at number 2 is the 94 Tyler Seguin, and I'm not going to lie, if you are looking for a centerman and not a winger, Tyler Seguin would be number 1. I think he is the best centerman of this group. He's got Thief, which, again, makes it very easy. He's got Booming Shot as well, which gets his body checking up into the 90, and then Applesauce and Light the Lamp is a good complementary synergy at this point as well. Silver Wheels is great. I'm not a huge fan of gold tape to tape, but when you add everything together, he is a very good centerman if you're okay with using right-handers on the draw. I know a lot of people aren't. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I do have Tyler Seguin in center, and he's been fine. I think that the team builder Zetterberg is still better, so I have moved him down, and then it's going to depend on the rest of your team. But if you are looking for lineup flexibility, Tyler Seguin is definitely the best card here. So if you need a centerman and maybe your right-handed wingers are weak too, I'd probably go with Seguin at 1. But if you are looking for just the best overall player, I think he is the number 2. And then number 1 is the 94 Matthew Barzal. It is just really hard to ignore 96 speed. And again, you could use him at center. I do need to mention that because if you put Thief on him with Heart and Soul, again, that's really hard to activate, so I'm not going to see a lot of people do that, but he can get up to 88 on the draw with Thief activated. But if you don't, let's say you don't, he does have Applesauce there. You could go Booming Shot, get his body checking up quite high. And then he's just got 96 speed, 95 acceleration, max agility, a great shot, silver wheels, silver tape to tape, just a very, very fast card. The one thing I will say about him, though, is if you have his X Factor, I'd much rather have that. His X Factor is one of the best in the game. It is why I recommended that you guys at the beginning in the pre-order pack to take Matthew Barzal's X Factor, because at some point he is going to become just almost unstoppable among right-handed wingers, and he's getting to that point with his X Factor. So if you are hut rich, I would say go out and buy his X Factor and upgrade that all the way as opposed to getting Matthew Barzal. But if you are looking for the best overall card and center, you know, you don't really necessarily need a number 1 center, so you go Tyler Seguin in that case. I would go Matthew Barzal because he still could play center for you, but on the wing, he's just clearly the best one out of this group. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and don't forget to come check me out live on Twitch, twitch.tv/nosleeves12, and I will see you then. Have a good one, guys. See you then.